KJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
David Garrard here. Playing in the NFL can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, especially your knees. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has kept me mobile and ready to tackle every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Lauren Brooks here. Now at Hodges Mazda, get 2.9% APR for 72 months on the 2024 Mazda CX-90, Mazda's largest and most luxurious SUV. Or drive home a 2023 Mazda CX-30 2.5S Preferred for as low as $26,999. This compact SUV is designed for both city driving and weekend getaways. Discover the Hodges Mazda difference with a non-commissioned sales team who are always focused on your best interests. Plus, enjoy 2 years of free maintenance. Visit Hodges Mazda today or shop online at HodgesMazda.com. See dealer for details. Terms and fees for qualified applicants expires October 31st, 2024.
Anytime I need to send flowers for any reason to anybody, there's no choice for me but Kuhn Flowers. This is 1010XL's Frank Frangie, and I've used Kuhn Flowers dozens of times over the years. Make Kuhn Flowers your choice for when you need to send a floral arrangement.
This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update. Brought to you by Kuhn Flowers. FSU's football struggling team faces another stiff challenge this upcoming weekend when they take on the North Carolina Tar Heels. Noles head coach Mike Norvell spoke post-practice yesterday on rising to the challenge.
I thought today was a good effort, good intensity. I thought I had some physical work throughout today's practice. Obviously trying to push and go get better. Like I said, on Monday, it's about going to get the job done. Obviously, hard work is a minimum expectation. That needs to show up. We got to make sure that coaches, players, everybody involved goes and executes the plan, goes and puts ourselves in a position to go win this game. We've got to rise to the challenge of being the best of us. That's what we're working towards, and I thought we got off to a good step.
Noles will have to focus up to prepare for UNC's 1,000-yard rusher Amarian Hampton. It's 82 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Attention.
They are not ready for prime time.
Prime time. That's the name.
Prime time.
What time is it? Showtime prime time.
It's XL Prime Time. Featuring Joe C.
I reduced my toilet paper down to 3 squares.
Matt Hayes.
Big asses, big thighs, yeah.
And Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Gorgeous day out there in the city of Jacksonville, the entire First Coast, yes. Soaking up the sunshine, 70s, 80s. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Cocktail party coming up on Saturday. No matter the outcome, just enjoy the atmosphere if you are heading down to the cocktail party. Like Big Searcy is and many others, we'll be talking all about it. I'll relive the rivalry with chances for you to get signed up for some great prizes courtesy of Sawgrass Asset Management. And as we get rolling today, there's lots of other college football that we will definitely be diving in on. You smell some upsets? We always like starting to talk about those potential upsets, and maybe the first Saturday in November might bring a little separation from those at the top and the other ones with their hopes dashed as we enter the third month of our college football season. Really hard to believe that. You got the Jags Sunday afternoon, not Sunday night, 4:05 kick against the Philadelphia Eagles. How you feeling about that one, Duval? We're going to start looking at maybe some of the angles of attack that they can have defensively and offensively, but we will begin today's show talking about the trade that took place. And we've mentioned this going all the way back to last week with Cam Robinson, but we will definitely get into that today. Golf Club of Southampton, they bring you today's show. They got great things going on there. Membership opportunities. We got our Primetime Christmas Toys for Tots tournament out there coming up in December, so plenty going on at the beautiful Golf Club of Southampton. Leon, we have to give Matt credit because he kind of, even though you argued for Cam Robinson yesterday and you were on the winning side of that one, so you deserve, a check mark. But then also when he said, he laid out this last game, they were saving him. He's on the move.
True.
You picked the spot. You picked the spot and you made the prediction.
Well, listen, Matt's he's not a huge fan of Cam Robinson. He loves him Walker Little. So
that is true.
He
was trying to deal him anyway.
Anytime he can get this man in the position, he's going to make that move. So,
well, all right.
First off, I don't mind. It's obvious to anyone who could see that he was sitting out that game for a reason.
Well,
there's no doubt about that.
But let's just not say obvious because he had cleared concussion protocol.
Right, and they said he cleared it on Wednesday, 4 days before the game.
No, actually, it was all the way up to.
I thought it was Wednesday.
No. Because remember, we talked about this yesterday. You were wondering whether or not he was, in the concussion.
So when was it? Thursday
protocol.
Or Friday?
I believe they didn't clear him until Sunday. It might have been Friday, but anyway, it took them some time to do that, and then they basically said Walker Little because it'd come down to Cam and ETN as those decisions, but they did hold him out.
It did, and
now he's on his way. What do you think?
Well, the Jaguars are basically saying if all things equal, Cam and Walker Little. They're pretty much the same. Now Walker Little's in the position where he's auditioning, for his Jaguar life, to be quite honest with you. Because I said at the beginning of the season, I stand firm on this. I said that Walker Little needs to tell his agent if he doesn't get a starting spot at either the right or left tackle position, that he needs to tell his agent to find him a new team. Because swing tackle money and elite tackle money is two different types of money. So now he's in a position now where he's going to be put on front stage for the next, 9 weeks or 10 weeks, wherever it is. And you're going to see what kind of quality left tackle he's going to be.
Right.
And I was a little concerned. Trevor, I wonder if Trevor had any say-so in any of this because, this is his blind side.
Sure.
Okay? This is his blind side. So when they told him the news, I wonder if he had any say in maybe. Well, fiscally, we know they're doing the fiscally responsible thing to do because they know they're not going to resign the amount of money, and they can probably get Walker Little on the hometown discount in some capacity. But Walker Little right now, I want to see what kind of player he's going to be because if it doesn't work out, then I think we need to go in the draft in April and get us one.
Well, I don't think there's any question. If he struggles, first thing you're looking for is Will Campbell at LSU. Probably the top guy right now as far as left tackle. But, he's also in a situation where if he does play well, then you're not going to have to pay as much as you would think you'd have to pay for him because he's still, doesn't have that much investment in the game. You haven't seen as much where you could say, yeah, you're worth X amount of money.
Right.
You could give him maybe like an Ezra Cleveland type deal.
It'll have
not that low, not that low, but I mean like a 3-year deal. You could give him like a 3-year deal for about, I don't know.
Well, just to give you an example, Robinson,
$55 million.
When Cam signed his, okay, and by the way, he was in the last year of his deal. It was a $54 million extension. Right. So you can.
But Cam also had much
that man
more.
Right there and know that the price.
I understand that, but Cam also had a lot more in the bank than Walker Little has right now.
Very true.
And believe me, I think Walker Little, every time he's played well when he's had to play left tackle. So it's not that I'm saying he doesn't deserve it. I'm just saying, am I not right, Leon? If you don't have that credit in your bank already, they're going to say you really haven't done much.
Well, here's the one thing I know about the new NFL that the elite players get it. They get elite money, but non-elite players want to get elite money too, right? Because that's what the market says. Yeah. So if I'm Walker Little's agent and I'm sitting there and they're saying the Jaguars think they're going to get a hometown discount, I'm saying, oh no, you got I-275 to protect.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna have to break open the piggy bank for it. If I'm his agent, if I'm representing him well, you got to pay me well.
Yeah, but you can wish in one hand and in the other. You know what I mean?
Well, then I'm just telling you what his agent's going to do. His agent's going to say, hey, listen, he wants. And what did Panay Sue get?
No, I understand that, but Panay, he's not going to get close to that. Okay, but my point is, he's going to wish for that. Yeah, but my point is this: whoever the new GM is, you see how I slipped that in there, JoJo?
I like that.
Whoever the new GM is just going to say, look, we're going to give you this. If you don't want it, we'll draft the left tackle with the first pick. We don't care.
It would be nice if there was a new GM making that decision.
There will be
instead of Trent Talkie.
Well, could I ask you guys this with the GM talk? Do you believe that there could be any sort of movement when Shad is allowing an individual to now trade expiring contracts off? Does that mean that maybe in Balky's mind he believes he'll have another go at this, or do you believe it's over whether he makes these trades or not?
He 100% believes he's going to have another go at this. First off, it is my belief, and I've heard enough that convinces me of this, is that Shad sees Balky as his eyes and ears in that building, as his chief executive officer in that building.
There's no way.
And that's what he sees. He has him as his general manager. Are you kidding me?
I understand
that. We're talking bona fide trust in this man.
He put together a team, okay, that lost 5 or 6 to finish last season, missed the playoffs, and that's 2-6 right now.
I'm not telling you I don't agree with you. I'm telling you what Shad thinks. Okay?
I don't think he does. I think Shad's comments prior to this season, okay? And I'm playing devil's advocate with you. I think Shad's comments prior to the season where he said, we can't keep spending money in free agency.
Yeah, that part.
Who's that a direct shot at?
It's right at
the general manager. Of course it is.
Yeah. And so look,
so they spent money.
Yeah.
And now these free agents are all not having any. Look at the free agents they spent money on. Darby.
They spent Eric Armstead $11 million
any good?
To basically be an outside rotational guy.
Right. Is Savage any good?
Yeah.
How about Mitch Morse? Any good?
Actually, Mitch is the best of the bunch that you just mentioned.
Probably is. He probably is.
That's so sad.
But my point is,
true.
Of these guys he brought in, there's no impact.
Yeah. No.
Gabe Davis, he any good?
No, he's been up.
If anything, he's been a problem.
Yeah. No, he has not. He has the.
Okay. Yeah. Well, when your receivers fighting with your quarterback, who you just spent $275 on.
Right. That was one time, and they actually went out and made plays together after that. If there was a problem, it was Roy Robertson Harris who was described as a problem, either sideline or whatever.
My point is the owner said we have to stop spending money. The next season the next season months later rolls around.
Yeah.
The free agents you spent money on haven't done anything.
Yeah.
You're what? 2-6 and 5. I keep doing this math every time now. So you've lost 11 of the last 13
you've won 3 of the last 15.
3 of the last 15 is what I'm saying. Right.
And so the only thing I'm saying is
he's out.
Is that you have to. I want him out. I've been wanting him out for a long time, but I want Shad to want him out. That's the only thing I'm saying. I'm trying to make that very clear. He has held on to too many people too long, and that's been one of his things.
Can he not see the finished project?
Of course he does.
You can't turn a blind eye to it, bro.
Okay, I'm just going to turn this on you guys.
Yeah.
Just for the hell of it. Just for right now. This might even be. Here comes the judge coming up real soon.
Make it a 10-10 take if you get really fired up about it.
Well, it's because you have to think about this. And I wrote this down heading into our show. Before the season, and I went back and looked at my notes. This is before training camp. We argued about where Doug Peterson should have been ranked as far as the head coaches in the National Football League. We argued about whether or not he should be top 10. Whether he was too low when he was selected middle of the pack, 16, 17, whatever it was.
Some of us did.
No, and I'm actually putting you in there. You're the one who said he should have been top 10.
I think he should have. What I said was 12 or 13 is what I said.
Well, you said he should have been top 10 because he's a Super Bowl winning coach. My point is that we all had a higher rank. I had him probably 12, 14, whatever it was. I can probably go back and find the notes. But we all felt like he might have been just a little lower than he should have been. And guess what? This team is devolving under Doug, unfortunately. Now, he may still be a great coach, good coach, average coach, I don't know. But he is a Lombardi winning coach. And so we defended him. And then you go into the season and you see this thing not come together, Leon, not come together. And I truly believe it's a personnel problem as much as it is a coaching problem.
Well, I mean,
one's not off the hook.
The reason why I think it's a coach and a player, because a lot of times when I watch this Jaguar team, they play uninspired. They don't handle adversity well. Tough teams usually beat them up. I mean,
penalties.
They play dumb football. Let me just go ahead and say that. They play dumb football. Penalties, jumping off sides, legal procedures, not lining up right, all that. That's just dumb football. That is more. If you get beat physically, I can deal with that. Mm-hmm. But the mental errors, the self-inflicted errors in the game, it can't be tolerated. Mm-hmm. And this team has cost themselves so many times because of doing that kind of stuff. Dumb football.
Yeah, and so it's real. It's real. And don't think for a moment that Shad, like I said, the one guy that has his ear more than the others is the guy trying to convince him that this was, quote, the best roster ever assembled in Jacksonville, which was just nonsense. But what did Shad do? He took that talking point, took it right to everybody and said, oh, yeah, I still believe that to be true. And we need to do it. We need to justify that with winning. And they haven't.
Right, but here's my point with all this, okay? He said we have to stop spending money on free agents, okay? Mm-hmm. You know what that means? We have to draft better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they haven't drafted well.
No.
Who's that on?
I am saying yes to everything you're saying. okay? I'm talking about what the stash is right now not saying to himself. And I've said this. This is the most important decision for him because he's made too many other ones that haven't panned out. This is a massive decision for Shad Khan coming up, this next hire. And it should be 2 hires, general manager and head coach. All right, so we'll keep that thought going. It is XL Prime Time. We're definitely going to work our way into college ball. We've got the just a flurry of top 25 matchups that we want to get to. We will do that today. Golf Club of Southampton Wednesday. It is XL Prime Time.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Prime Time on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. Every team has bumps and bruises, but a major injury can shake the season.
Let me know if he's ever going to play football again, or do I need to find me another wide receiver?
Listen for the personal injury attorneys Farah and Farah Injury Update. Jacksonville on 1010XL.
Joe C. for Roland Re Plumbing, and plumbing can be a problem. It crops up at the worst possible time. You know what I'm talking about. You flush it, and then it just all of a sudden it's coming back your way. You don't want that. Okay, that may be just a drain clog. It may be a septic problem. It could be just a big problem that you got to deal with right away. So you need to get in touch with the folks that have been doing it for a long time, over a quarter of a century working here in Jacksonville. They're proud of their work and proud of the community as well. You can log on plumbingjacksonville.com and check out everything as far as Google reviews, because Roland Reese definitely does it right. Remember, when you got a leak and can't wait a week, Roland Reese Plumbing.
Why go big or go home when you can go epic and save at Arlington Toyota? Mia here, and right now you can lease a new 2024 Corolla LE for only $89 a month. A new 2025 Camry SE for only $129 per month. Need an SUV? Then lease a new 2024 RAV4 XLE for only $199 per month. Our friends at Arlington even have epic lease savings on trucks too. Go epic and save big at Arlington Toyota. Shop arlingtontoyota.com today.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL Green for Life.
This is Chelsea with Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors. Here's what people are saying about working with us.
Installers were professional, courteous, and efficient.
Great customer service. On time, explained the process, and walked me through the installation. Amazing team.
Our experience with Renewal by Anderson was outstanding from the beginning to end.
Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com.
License number CGC 1527613.
Renewal by Anderson, custom windows and doors.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Former Georgia defensive tackle and pro wrestler Bill Goldberg and Bull standout and Georgia cornerback Mike Fisher will be inducted into the Florida-Georgia Hall of Fame. For tickets to the celebration lunch Friday, November 1st, go to GAFLJax.com.
Will the Gators bring the swamp to the 904?
Yeah!
Or will the Dogs hedge another victory?
Oh, yeah!
Florida-Georgia Week is celebrated by Kingfish Pest Control and Ackerman Urology and Cancer Center on 1010XL.
Mia here for MyBookie. Our listeners have been killing it in a year full of surprises. MyBookie is the one book that's got your back. No fluff, no second guessing, straight up action. Does your other sports book pay out when you push on a bet? MyBookie pays you back. And if you're new to the game and not sure where to start, we've got you covered. Step 1, use our promo code 1010XL. That will double your bankroll with a 100% deposit bonus right from the jump. Here's a pro tip to get you rolling. The NFL teams with powerhouse offensive lines are dominating the run game this year, and betting game total unders has been printing money. Stack that with MyBookie's risk-free Thursdays. Why wait? That's right there, a new risk-free odds boost every Thursday. To find the bet, click the Bet Boost tab and scroll down. If it hits, you win. If it doesn't, MyBookie refunds your money. Sign up now and get your double deposit bonus with MyBookie, the best sign-up bonus for Florida bettors. Bet anything, anytime, from anywhere with MyBookie.
What if you could be debt-free by this January? Get rid of all that high-interest debt, pay off all your credit cards, consolidate everything into one lower payment. Hey, it's Prosper here, and if you're ready to stop stressing over bills, you need to call Loan Pronto right now. With rates at their lowest in 2 years, this is the perfect chance to use your home's equity and save big going into the new year. Loan Pronto's got rates with APRs in the low 5, and they're getting homeowners hundreds of thousands out of their home's equity. Homeowners who do this save on average $850 a month. Loan Pronto offers a ton of options, including total refis, express equity lines of credit. So call now, get a rate quote in just minutes with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. Call today. You won't make a house payment till 2025. 904-999-1508. That's loanpronto.com or 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781 on approved credit, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation. Light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Jacksonville, are you ready? The college basketball season is tipping off with an epic in-state showdown. The Florida Gators and South Florida Bulls go head-to-head in the Jacksonville Sports Foundation Invitational. Be there Monday, November 4th at Veterans Memorial Arena and witness this in-state rivalry live. Secure your seats now at Ticketmaster.com. It's Florida versus South Florida to start the college basketball season on November 4th in Jacksonville. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Prime Time. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
We are hanging out on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon, the Golf Club of Southampton. Great things going on there. Membership opportunities, you definitely want to take advantage of that, and they definitely will hook you up. Full Golf holiday savings promotion as well. You can take this all the way through the end of December. You can get a $1,000 discount off of the $4,000 initiation fee, $500 gift card, and you can make that 12-month commitment and know where you are playing. Have the Golf Club of Southampton in basically your golfing backyard. All the details, you can log on and check them out at the Golf Club of Southampton. So we've been talking about the Jags. The one player that has been moved is Cam Robinson. Will there be more? Not quite sure. We got the deadline coming up next week. But the bottom line is they had a guy that was ready to step in that they wanted to make a decision on. And this is kind of why we had Here Comes the Judge yesterday, figuring out whether someone else would be on the move. And we had listed Travis Etienne. Heard something interesting with the Deontay Johnson trade that took place when he went from Carolina up to Baltimore, is that Christian Kirk, who we all have mentioned certainly, would have been probably the next big-name wide receiver after the Adams deal, all the other guys, Amari, when he was on the move, DeAndre Hopkins, that Kirk would have been the next in line had he not gone down with that injury. And so Deontay Johnson was able to profit from that.
Yeah, I was looking at that too. And it's a shame that he broke his collarbone.
Yeah.
Because, listen, no matter what you think about Cam, he's going to be given an opportunity to play some inspired football. Mm-hmm. This team, this season's a wash. 2-6. He's going to
what it feels like right now.
It feels like it is. But he's going to a team that's going to be in the hunt for the playoffs. Mm-hmm. You know, he could be a value. He could be a commodity for that team, protecting Sam Darnold's, blind side. So
from seeing ghosts.
Yeah. From seeing ghosts, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean.
He might see more ghosts now.
Because sometimes we see Cam, he fluctuates up and down. Yeah. Now he's on a winning team that have a possibility to go to the playoffs. Maybe, he'll be a lot more consistent in his play.
I mean, we still got a week to go, too.
Yeah.
So there's
until next week.
A couple other guys could get dealt.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Etienne is still a possibility.
I think he is. I think Aluakon's a possibility.
Yeah, you start looking.
Lloyd.
Yeah, Lloyd.
Cisco.
Yeah.
Yeah, you start looking at guys that they may be willing to part with and hit, again, the proverbial reset button, which would just drive you crazy if that's what's happening. This team hasn't necessarily passed off too many stars off to other teams at the trade deadline. That's not been one of the things that they've done.
Here's one thing that we do. We are consistent when it comes to this kind. We kind of implode within like 2 or 3 years. Because you remember 2017, the championship run, then the bad 5-11 team, and then the next year, Ramsey's gone, this guy's gone, that guy's gone, or whatever. So we press the reset button like every 2 years.
It's just a cyclical thing.
It is, man. It's just crazy.
It is painful. It really can be.
Well, can I ask? Let me ask this as well. When it comes to a GM perspective, yes, I'm going back to the GM thing. Does that interest a GM saying, like, I have all these draft picks to my disposal? I don't have any guys that are concrete right now, like in terms of both sides. I don't have like a whole lot of talent on both sides of the ball. So here I come in with all these new draft picks. Does that interest a guy that's looking to be a GM of a team?
I think anytime someone's looking at a job like this, first off, we say the classic line, there's only so many head coaching jobs in the NFL, 32 of them. Same thing with the GM. But the GM's looking for, do I have the full power to basically make up the roster the way I want, hire my head coach? Do I have the trust of the owner? Is he going to basically let me put my hands all over this franchise? And then the other part of it is, do I have a quarterback? Do I have salary cap money to spend? And where am I at contractually with some of the guys that they're on the hook right now with free agents? That's basically the things that he's looking at. And heck, yeah, I would think a GM comes in here. They got salary cap room. They're probably having expiring contracts, which is going to give him more flexibility. And then whatever draft capital that they're cranking up right now.
We didn't mention Sheriff. Sheriff could be on the block, too.
Yeah.
He'd be on the trading block.
Yeah.
I mean, because all things equal, I mean, we're not going to re-sign him.
No.
A little long in the tooth. And Cooper Hodges, when he was in there, outside of, getting beat inside and almost blowing out Sheriff's ACL, I mean, he was pretty decent in there.
Well, and you're looking for those guys right now.
I mean, that's not how you get the starting job.
No.
Is by getting beat inside and trying to blow out the ACL.
No, this team could be completely rebuilt next year.
Hey,
I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. But again, I go back to, it's not just the free agency, it's how they failed in the draft too. Like, had you done the right thing in the draft the last 2 years, you could be set on the lines of scrimmage and set. Instead, you've got a healthy scratch of a second-round pick. How does that even happen?
Oh, it's inexcusable.
How do you have a healthy scratch of a second-round pick?
And we can stand on this on XL Prime Time. And by the way, I thought it was it was very interesting that I heard people brag on how good Mason Smith was in training camp. And I'm thinking to myself, I just didn't see it.
Right. We kept saying that.
Yeah,
I don't see it.
I like the individual, but he kept getting stood up far too often. And we all were critical of that pick.
That better had a better camp than he did.
Yeah. With that injury, with the 48th pick overall.
Well, here's a group of people that's going unscathed that we haven't been saying much about is the scouting department. The scouting department. Listen, I look at the Detroit Lions, and when they draft guys, they plug and play.
Yeah, they do.
If you look at their roster, you showed me their roster last year.
Unbelievable, actually.
The scouting department that gives the information to the GM so he can make those kind of picks. If you look at the Detroit Lions over the last couple of years, last 2 or 3 years, all those guys are bona fide starters on that team. We got healthy scratches here. We got guys that take 2 and 3 years before they even get on the field. You can't have that.
So we'll start with 2021. Penei Sewell.
Oh, you can go down the line.
You can go down the line.
I mean, I'm on Ross St. Brown, who obviously,
And just look where he was drafted. That's the thing that gets you more than anything else.
Fourth round.
Yeah.
Fourth round.
Yeah. Down in the draft, and he was one of just a handful to have 300 catches in his first 3 years.
Jameer Gibbs, Jack Campbell, Sam Laporta, Brian Branch. You got to be kidding me, man.
What I'm saying is that plug and play. Not all players have to be developed. Sometimes you just got to do your due diligence in the scouting department and say, hey, is this guy a good fit for us to where he can plug and play and start?
Right.
And here in Jacksonville, it just doesn't happen.
No.
Here's another thing, too.
Enough.
Jordan Jefferson, 4th rounder, right?
Yeah.
Has he played at all this year?
Yeah, I saw him in the starting lineup one time and I almost fainted.
Yeah, he has.
Wait, he started. He was one of the hockey shifts.
No, he was. I remember when I text y'all and say, hey, this guy. It was Graziano and
Graziano
started the game.
They started the game, and I said, what is going on?
This is where we are. Okay, this is where we are. By the way, you add up the number of free agents that were brought in and immediately inserted as starters screams how bad the draft has been with Bookie. And you can even go back to the Dave Caldwell days because they just have not had enough guys that they built inside that building to be starters that you could count on because they brought in Savage, Darby, Eric, all of them immediately to be, quote, step-in starters. Armstead wasn't necessarily that, but that's what he was brought in to be. And the same thing with Darby and Savage. And then obviously go to the other side, Mitch Morse, step-in starter. Ezra, signed after last year to be a starter. You can take a look and basically say they brought Gabe Davis in to be a starter when they go 3 wide, and it did not or has not worked out. That's for sure. All right, we'll keep it going. It is XL Prime Time. Got to get to some college football. Matter of fact, let's use this right now, RJ, a little that, just to set us up for what we're going to be talking about coming up here in just a second.
That just happened.
In one sense where once you give Georgia the whiff of having that game in Atlanta,
100%.
So close to Athens, that might be an issue. But I will say this. At the end of the day, it's this. The game's never going to go to campus sites. That will never happen. All right? Number 2 is once Jacksonville gets this new facility that can generate even more revenue, then the city could just tell them, look, we'll give you each $9 or $10 million each every year. And there's no way they're turning that down. No way.
Not. And it's a heritage piece, and it's been that way for a long, long time. Hopefully they'll be able to keep it that way. As we say, Florida, Georgia, we will relive the rivalry. Sawgrass Asset Management hooking us up with some great prizes. Of course, you got a chance to win ducats to the game. You got a chance to win one of those great grab bags, be it the Florida side, the Georgia side from Palm Beach Autograph. So we got Georgia fans and Florida fans. Be listening. RJ will do one of those cue to calls. It could be the Gator Chomp. It could be the Georgia Band. And we will relive the rivalry. Whenever you hear those cues to call, fire up 641-1010. Get in touch with RJ. See if you can get in the drawing for some of those great prizes, courtesy of Sawgrass Asset Management.
Cruising with XL Prime Time in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Who has the best lineup this season? Honda. Cars, trucks, SUVs, vans, hybrids, and electric. This is one of the greatest lineups Honda has ever had. And now is the best time to purchase or lease one. Visit your local Honda dealer now. Remember, only a Honda is a Honda.
Now, the Hurricane Report. Brought to you by Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
The state champion Miami Hurricanes took down Florida State 36-14 on Saturday night, thanks in large part to a great performance on defense by the Hurricanes. The Canes held Florida State to under 250 total yards. Miami is now 8-0 on the season, Florida State dropping to 1-7. Duke is next for the Canes. The Hurricane Report brought to you by Performance Painting.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. I've been playing and winning with Prize Picks, and you should too. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with more than 10 million active members. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch your winnings roll in. Think Brian Thomas Jr. will get more than 80.5 yards receiving, or Jahmyr Gibbs will rush for more than 70.5 yards, or Justin Herbert will throw for more than 240.5 yards? It's just that simple. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. And when my picks hit, I can get my money as quickly as 15 minutes. Now, here's the best part. Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy. That means your lineups stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code JAX, J-A-X, and get $50 instantly when you play 5. It's all there at Prize Picks. Run your game.
I'm Chris Campion. In a world of big box law firms with satellite offices, there's something special about having a local legal team that cares about you and your community. We're not just lawyers, we're your neighbors. We understand the unique challenges facing the Jacksonville community because we live here too. At Campion Law, Campion Cares isn't just a tagline, it's our commitment to you. Campion Law, your trusted lawyers after an accident. CampionLaw.com.
Count on Campion, Campion Law.
Picture this. It's a dark and stormy night, and your toilet is acting possessed. But fear not, for Duck Duck Rooter is here to exorcise those plumbing demons and banish them to the netherworld. So if you're facing a plumbing horror story straight out of a nightmare, summon the spectral expertise of Duck Duck Rooter. Call 904-862-6769 and bid those plumbing phantoms farewell. Duck Duck Rooter, where we tackle plumbing scares so you don't have to.
Blue for Shatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to ShatriDC.com.
In its final year, we encourage you to help create great futures for young people when you run or walk at Mackenzie's Run, Saturday, November 23rd. Join Boys and Girls Club of Northeast Florida for a 5K and 1 mile fun run through the beautiful stadium course at TPC Sawgrass. Enjoy food, live music, face painting, family fun, and more at our Runners Village. Register at McKenzie'sRun.org. Mackenzie's 5K and Fun Run, November 23rd. McKenzie'sRun.org.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On October 30th, 2013, the Boston Red Sox beat the St. Louis Cardinals 6-1 in Game 6 of the World Series to win the title. Boston slugger David Ortiz was awarded MVP.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double hot, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Hey, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Well, I do now.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
Did you say you're cutting me off?
You earn, we match. Unlimited cashback match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-IHRS 777-4477.
You don't have to be a football star to get a signing bonus. The team at Republic Services needs your skills, and they're paying up to $5,000 for you to join the roster. You'll be joining a winner. As an essential business, the Republic Services trucks have not stopped rolling with hourly and weekly pay and better benefits and vacation packages than the rest of the league. Driver trainees, $1,000 sign-on bonus. CDL drivers, $3,000. Diesel mechanics, $5,000 bonus. Join the winning team at Republic Services today. Visit republicservices.com.
Equal opportunity employer.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
How will Cam Robinson be remembered in Jacksonville? Tony Smith shared his thoughts this morning on Jaguars Today.
I'll remember he got franchised twice. I'll remember that. And I was in favor of the first franchise tag. The second one caught me off guard, right? Extended after he got the second franchise tag. He played here a long time. 7.5 years is a long time, especially for an offensive lineman like that. Like, it's a long time. He was the left tackle for the football team, and he refused to switch positions if he was asked. Those are the things I'm going to remember about Cam Robinson. And as far as how good or bad a player he was, I think he was an okay left tackle.
Tony Smith on Cam Robinson. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Prime Time. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. on 1010XL.
All right, we've been talking Jag ball. They get ready for the Eagles. We will be doing a little more of that coming up in just a little bit. XL Prime Time.
Tailgate's doing another one this weekend, so I shall be there.
Yeah, you're ready to go.
I will be wearing my cane gear. And I dare someone to say something.
I believe that. I do believe that because
I'm just joking. I don't want no stress.
Yeah. But you'll have a good time because they all like to party at the cocktail party. That's how it got its name, and it is well deserved. So speaking of the cocktail party, let's relive the rivalry right now. Both sides of this Georgia-Florida, Florida-Georgia contest. It's been here in Duval with just little minor interruptions since the early 1930s. So let's keep it here once we get that stadium renovation. That's for sure. You got chances to qualify for cool prizes. Palm Beach Autographs, our buddy Martin does such a great job with a grab bag on each side, Florida and Georgia. And then, of course, we've got chances for you to get in the stadium. All right, let's relive it right now, RJ.
They use all the clock again. DeAndre Swift, and he's got the first down, and he's got a bunch more. DeAndre Swift to the house. Touchdown. The Dogs have got to be thinking just get it to third down so we can score a touchdown. Another 3 yards for number 7, Gary.
Number 53, Lamont Gilliard blocks 2 men on the play.
DeAndre Swift just falls in that long line of Georgia Bulldog running backs. We're talking just an endless list of greatness. Going back to Herschel when you think about it.
Yeah, I almost forgot he did go to Georgia. I remember him. He was a hell of a player at Georgia.
Man.
Absolutely.
And you went through DeAndre, and you can go down the line. You just start looking at them chronologically. It's just like endless. And it comes. They basically come off of the Friday night football fields throughout the city, or excuse me, the state of Georgia. That's for sure. So they ran for a bunch of yards. DeAndre Swift in the red and black helping them to a win here at the cocktail party. But there was also a run game on the Florida side as we go back and relive it.
It would have been intercepted.
Taylor. Touchdown. Here's Kelvin Taylor going right. Still going. He will score.
Well, they went off that year. When we go back and think of the run game, you were looking up some of the numbers earlier.
So, first off, Muschamp has told me numerous times that was like his favorite game as a Florida coach. They carried the ball 60 times in that game. Ran for 418. Kelvin Taylor and Matt Jones each ran for $175. They threw the ball 6 times in that game.
Yeah.
And beat
there was a reason why
the hell
they
out
threw
of
it.
Georgia,
Yeah.
who was number 11 in the CFP poll.
There was a reason why they only threw it.
Yeah,
that many
well, I
times.
mean, Trayon Harris was quarterback, which is slightly above Clarabelle.
Yeah.
Jim
He just was not an effective passer.
Jim McElwain's dog
Yeah.
that he's a complete quarterback.
Yeah, Clarabelle. Even my dog.
Yeah, just a if you're a Gator fan, that's a game you love because Georgia knew exactly what they were doing and could not stop it. And Leon, as a former offensive lineman, is there ever anything better when you're playing as an offensive lineman?
No, it's not. Nothing. It's nothing better than seeing the defensive front just know you're going to run the ball and can do absolutely nothing to stop it. That's you're sending a message, a clear message to the defense, to the team that we own you.
Yeah. And every time that defense finally gets off the field, they're defeated. They're out of gas, and they know it ain't going to be long before they have to get right back out.
It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot of this, a lot of head tapping out.
A lot of ARs,
a lot of tapping out. Yes.
By the way, that's still a thing right now as they are talking about it up there in Indianapolis, and for that matter, across the National Football League. But there you go. Relive the rivalry. Just be listening because RJ will give you a Gator Chomp, a Georgia Band. And when you hear those, you need to be dialing 641-1010 and get in the drawing. Now, you just mentioned tapping out. I want to bring up a point on that, but go ahead. Finish your thought.
What's that?
No, I thought you were about.
No.
Okay. Let's just go ahead and get back on that subject just a little bit because Anthony Richardson is being told that they're not giving up on him. This is the standard line that you would expect. Shane Steichen and company, his GM, they're saying, look, this isn't the end. We want to make sure that you're healthy, you're okay, you're blah, 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 blah. You know, just a bunch of BS that they're putting in his ear.
Massaging him.
Exactly. They're just trying to make him feel undefeated instead of defeated now that they sat his behind down. But let's make this the 10-10 take because this is something when you think about it, The stakes are so high in the National Football League these days, and everything is basically, it's got to happen right now.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 tape. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pit master since 68.
Sonny's cooks it slow and they serve it fast. And so they don't necessarily need to get in a hurry to start off, but they want to make sure they hurry it up and get it to you fast. You can enjoy a great meal. Definitely check them out, First Coast Sonny's Barbecue, wherever you are out and about and craving some barbecue. So think about it. Everything has to happen right now. Boom, put it in the microwave. I want it done. I'm so hungry, or whatever the case might be, whatever analogy you want to come up with. 2 guys drafted in the top 4 last year have been sat down. Bryce Young, number 1 overall pick, and now Anthony Richardson. So would you have ever imagined there would be a world where 2 quarterbacks of all positions in the first 4 picks within the first half of the next season would have been sat down? That's unbelievable. And it just speaks volumes about how desperate teams are. Basically, basically they were desperate to begin with. That's why they reached and said, hey, Bryce Young, he won the Heisman. He comes out of the winning program at Alabama. We're here to rebuild things in Carolina. We brought in a brand new head coach. He says, let's go ahead and roll on the offensive side. They picked Bryce Young. He was undersized. You knew he was going to be a durability problem. Bottom line is he loses his job. And here's what's crazy. Even crazier than those 2 guys getting sat down, they have lost their jobs to Andy Dalton and Joe Flacco. That is the 10-10 take. If that doesn't blow your mind, just as you're talking about a 39-year-old Flacco, a rusty red rifle in Andy Dalton. Yeah. Now, Dalton got in a car accident and had to sit down this past week, and Bryce Young was able to get back up. But that's how bad it is.
So, I mean, here's the question. Who do you blame? Do you blame the college or do you blame the professional team? Because, to be quite honest, when these guys get drafted in the first round, that's in April. So, in April, you're supposed to be NFL ready by September, which is essentially 4 to 5 weeks. And then you find out that they're not, and then you sit them. I mean, so is it the college's fault? It's not developed the players for the next level, or is it the NFL fault for not developing the players, getting them ready for the NFL?
Well, I think it's definitely partly that. That's definitely a question kind of hovering over the situation. But I think the bigger issue is it shows just the desperate nature of franchises now with quarterbacks because it's such an important position. It's so critical to everything you do in every game, in every series on offense, that you got to have the right guy. And if you don't have a guy, or if a guy is struggling, or if he can't protect the ball, or if he's missing reads, or if he's a guy who's tapping out, and I'm kind of making a joke with AR, but it's they are at the point now where the position is so important. It doesn't matter that you've spent a first-round pick on somebody. The goal is to win games.
Right.
So if your goal is to win games, and even though you've got a first-round pick and a top 10 pick or a top 5 pick or even the number 1 overall pick, you got to win games. Yeah. So that means you got to find how whatever quarterback can help you win games.
Well, let's also remember, too, that the teams that are picking in these positions usually don't have the people in place for these guys to slip them right in. I mean, it's not like they're going to the Chiefs or the Ravens or the Bills. They're going to teams like the Panthers and the Browns.
They don't have the pieces around them to help them.
Pieces around them to help them, absolutely. I mean, you take Joe Burrow. Okay, Joe Burrow was the first pick overall. He went to Cincinnati. He had Jamal Chase, but he had an offensive line that was around him that was pathetic. Gave up 70 sacks. I mean, that's 70 sacks. That's not even counting how many times he probably got hit. Exactly. But he still took him to the Super Bowl. Yeah. But I mean, that's an anomaly. But with guys like, you talk with Justin Fields sat, Zach Wilson sat, Bryce Young. I mean, all these underdeveloped players now that have been picked in the top 15 picks in the draft are now sitting.
Right.
You know, getting paid vacations.
And
I mean, that's just the truth of the matter.
Yeah, that is what that is what it is right now. And so, look, you could qualify this or quantify this in a number of different categories as far as who made this decision. Well, the GM says, you know what, I need to build for the future, and quarterback being the most important position, there's only so many of those guys that are going to be in this draft, so I got to quantify which one of these guys represents the biggest either upside, potential, long-term, the whole deal, right? And then the other side of it is the coach is like, well, you need to give me something along with him to go out and win. So that's to your point. They're not arming that roster with a lot of other good pieces. They don't have to spend nearly as much money when you draft the rookie quarterback compared to when you got to give him that extension later on. This would be the perfect time to have good around the guy that you went out and got. But generally speaking, whenever you got a new head coach and you're drafting at the top, that means you got a bad football team. And therefore, there are not a lot of good pieces around him. And so these guys are asked to basically, one position, the most important one, pull a team out of the ashes.
Yeah, bail out franchises.
That ain't easy.
I mean, Jaden Daniels
Jaden Daniels.
He's just. I mean, last year when he was at LSU, I knew midway through the season he was the best player in college football.
Remember, we kept saying the only hesitation with him was his size.
Yes.
We kept saying, like, if you're looking at just like production on the field and what he was like and how he threw the ball and how accurate he was better than Caleb Williams. But he's small. He's still small.
Okay, but here's the one difference, at least for me right now. Bryce Young is small in stature. Jaden Daniels is not. He may not hold up because he already dealt with a rib injury, but he was able to come back and made one of the most thrilling plays we've seen in a while with that Hail Mary, the way he kept that play alive and the way they basically baited the Bears into not defending that bad boy properly. So anyway, will he stand the test of time? We don't know. How many hits is he going to take? Because we've compared some of his numbers to RG3 numbers when he first got going.
Right.
And we know he ended up getting beat up. So hopefully for Jaden, that does not happen.
But he's also, and here's the thing with him, he's a way more polished thrower than RG3 was. Mm-hmm. Way more. Mm-hmm. So
because of the Brian Kelly tutelage.
Yeah, everything. It's just, it was, for me, it was always like, I can't get over like looking at his shoulders at SEC Media Days.
I know.
And they're just, there's nothing there, you know? But I will say this, honestly, if you're starting a team right now, he's got to be among the first 7 to 8 quarterbacks you're going to select to be a quarterback on your team.
He's in the MVP conversation.
Right.
This guy is being talked about on that level, not unlike C.J. Stroud last year when he got going towards the end of the year, red hot. Jaden's getting it in the beginning of the year. Remember, this is still stunning to say. His first 16 drives as the Commanders' quarterback were all scoring drives. It may have even gone longer than that, 16 that I know of. That's just insane that he was able to produce that. And by the way, Dan Quinn took over that bad boy. It was a bad ball club. And then there they go.
Well, he's also like, they played 8 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's 8 games into his NFL career.
Yeah.
And he looks like this.
Yeah.
8 games.
Yeah.
He's only going to get better.
Yeah.
As long as they can protect him and he stays healthy.
That's it.
He's only going to get better.
Yeah. I just remind everybody, defenses are out there to figure you out.
No doubt.
And so
no doubt.
None of this lasts forever. You hope it does for him. There have been very few where it's been able to last forever. But he looks the part. He really does.
Well, it's what Leon always says. Eventually, the game will slow down for you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure the game has not slowed down for him yet. Mm-hmm. What happens when the game slows down for him?
Yeah, something else. All right, we'll keep it going. Get back to a little Jaguar talk into the 3 o'clock hour. We definitely have opportunities for you to get hooked up with those great giveaways as we relive the rivalry with the cocktail party on Saturday.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Prime Time on 1010XL. It's the play that turned hope into victory.
Plenty of time goes downfield, and he's got it complete.
Performance Painting presents the high-performance play of the game.
He is a force to be reckoned with. He's been doing it a long time.
On 1010XL, prepare, protect, preserve. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Mia here for MyBookie. Our listeners have been killing it in a year full of surprises. MyBookie is the one book that's got your back. No fluff, no second guessing, straight up action. Does your other sports book pay out when you push on a bet? MyBookie pays you back. And if you're new to the game and not sure where to start, we've got you covered. Step 1, use our promo code 1010XL. That will double your bankroll with a 100% deposit bonus right from the jump. Here's a pro tip to get you rolling. The NFL teams with powerhouse offensive lines are dominating the run game this year, and betting game total unders has been printing money. Stack that with MyBookie's risk-free Thursdays. Why wait? That's right there, a new risk-free odds boost every Thursday. To find the bet, click the Bet Boost tab and scroll down. If it hits, you win. If it doesn't, MyBookie refunds your money. Sign up now and get your double deposit bonus with MyBookie, the best sign-up bonus for Florida bettors. Bet anything, anytime, from anywhere with MyBookie.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Most goals we set for ourselves have a clear path. Like, man, do I want to go to Montana and see those northern lights? So you read a couple of reviews, talk to some friends, save some money, and book it. Maybe a couple choices along the way, but overall, it's a clear course to reach your goal. Now, if your goal is to lose 40 or 50 pounds, where's the clear path? You read reviews, talk to friends, try something out, then it doesn't work, and you're disappointed, and we've all been there, and it blows. But stop trying that and do what I did. Reach your goal with Awaken 180 weight loss. It's a clear path to success without disappointment. No guesswork, no trial and error, no medication side effects. I'm proof. I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180, and you can too. Trust me, it was simple. The word you never hear used with weight loss programs unless you're referring to Awaken 180. Choose the simple, clear path to success with the solution for weight loss. Awaken 180 weight loss at awaken180weightloss.com.
Introducing Gatorade Water. Alkaline and electrolyte infused for great taste. Gatorade Water, always in motion.
Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. For the athletes who give everything, nothing beats Gatorade, the studied, tested, and proven fuel of the world's greatest athletes. Gatorade Water, proudly supporting high school sports on the First Coast.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Joint replacement surgery is always a tough decision, but relief from chronic pain may be just around the corner. Dr. George Barah here, and there's a lot to consider to make sure you get the proper diagnosis and best path back to the range of motion and mobility you had. Age, lifestyle, and overall health all play a part. Let the team at Barah Orthopedics give you a full analysis to help you make the best decision. Log on to BarahOrthopedics.com or call the office to make an appointment. With offices across Jacksonville and ready to help you feel good again, we'll get you back on the road to recovery at Barah Orthopedics.
Good teachers and coaches get the most out of their scholar athletes. That's why 1010XL salutes the Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
And the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234.
Wednesdays on The Frangie Show.
Welcome to ABS Advanced Business Solutions, your local authorized technology partner and home to Xerox copiers.
Advanced Business Solutions.
If you're like most Americans, you have a ton of credit card debt and you're paying insane interest rates on that debt every month. Same for car loans and personal loans. Stop getting ripped off. Let Loan Pronto consolidate that debt for you at a significantly lower rate using the equity in your home. Hey, it's Prosper here, and Loan Pronto's Express Equity Line of Credit can get you up to $500,000. So you can consolidate your debt in as fast as 5 days. Their average client saves over $1,000 every month by doing this. Right now is the best time to act. With an Express Equity Line of Credit, you can access up to 90% of your home's equity, usually without an appraisal. Don't put it off. Get your financial house in order for the new year and call Loan Pronto now to see what you can save. It's a free quote and there's no credit pull, unlike the other guys. Call now, 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Are there more men than women on the earth? The answer next.
With storm season blowing wind and rain, it's even more critical to protect your valuable assets with a policy from Southern Oak Insurance. Ask your agent about Southern Oak today.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
For every 100 girls born, 106 boys are born. But men have a higher risk of dying than females.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Value or flavor? Price or taste? Why choose when you can get both with everyday deals at Sonny's? Right now, you can get the pork big deal for $10, the pork and rib combo for $12, and all you can eat ribs for just $19.99. Yep, you heard right. All your favorites are now available all day, every day. And that's why it's always Sonny's here. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmaster since '68.
This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update, brought to you by USA Park. There are high stakes for this weekend's matchup for the Florida Gators, who take on the Georgia Bulldogs here in Jacksonville. Gators head coach Billy Napier believes his team understands it's all about the quality of work they put in on the practice field that will push them to succeed.
Yeah, much of the same. Yeah, I mean, our kids have bought into the concept that practice is the most important thing that we do, and the attitude and the urgency and the focus. And we have to be very deliberate about how we practice. To improve at this game, you have to do it on the grass, right? This is a repetition-based game, but it's development, and it's the quality of the rep from the start to the finish matters, and I think we've bought into that concept, so I'm hopeful.
Don't miss the game live on 1010XL Saturday at 3:30 when the Gators kick off against the Bulldogs. It's 81 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Who lit it up last night? Brought to you by American-Electrical.com.
New York kid, bases loaded, 2 out. Cranks a ball, deep left field. Volpe with redemption.
Anthony, you weren't born yet. The last time a Yankee hit a grand slam in a World Series game, what were you trying to do in the third?
Just barrel it up. Just put the ball in play and put it in play hard. So it's just happened.
Did you know it off the bat?
I had a feeling, but you never know with these cold October nights. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, you got to give him credit. It's hard to imagine that in 4 World Series games, we've had 2 guys that have cleared the bases. Freddie with a walk-off winner. Volpe basically pulling the Yankees back into this series with his 3rd inning swat. And this was after Freddie Freeman started the game again with another homer. It was unreal. And the Yankees, not to be denied, and we'll see if they can make it a 3-2 series heading back to L.A. tonight. But, yeah, a little bit of a gut punch there, Big Searcy. And you when you saw the Freddie homer earlier, you thought it was –
I thought it was a wrap.
Yeah,
absolutely thought it was a wrap until I saw the end of it or whatever. So, I mean, you'll take a gentleman's sweep, wouldn't you?
Oh, I in a heartbeat.
I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to lose this series.
I'd like to see it in tonight because just, it makes – It makes for great theater if this thing could go on, of course, getting to 7 games. Garrett Cole definitely wants to have the ball back in his hands after being taken off the mound with just 88 pitches in game 1. He still was throwing with accuracy and with velocity. Anyway, he got pulled. His manager got ripped because they brought a guy in that hadn't been on the mound in a while, and we all know what happened after that. But last night, you felt like when Freddie went out there and hit that early home run, like, okay, this is going to be LA's all the way. They're going to sweep them. And then, obviously, when that happened, you had a couple of guys that made plays for the Yankees last night. Real quick, as one aside, hey, stay classy, New York. Did you see what they did trying to rip the ball out of the glove of Mookie? Now, think about this. Look, it's all fine and good. They're having fun. They're trying to rip the ball out. They want a souvenir. Who doesn't? But when Mookie Betts, any outfielder goes up and tries to attempt to catch, it's one thing if there's fan interference, because we've seen plenty of that. But it's another thing when you grab the actual glove and the the wrist of a guy. They could have hurt him, and I'm not trying to go overboard here just because he's a Dodger. That's some serious BS. This is only going to be minimized in the game of baseball because you got this big wall between the fans and a player. Just imagine if a player catches a football and runs it to the stands and a fan tries to start ripping it away from him. Just imagine in basketball if the same thing happens. Well, they're toe-to-toe.
I just think it was get back from game one, Joe. That's what I feel it was. I think it was, I think New York fans were mad because of the fan interference, so they said, hey, an eye for an eye.
Yeah, that I get it. And
fans stay in stands.
Yeah.
All right, let the players play.
Exactly. You can't look at it. They were laughing. And like I said, I'd probably be in the same kind of mood if I was cupping it and all that. But, they're drawing a line. This is ours and that's yours. But you can't do that to a player.
They have a history of doing that, by the way.
Yeah.
Back in the old stadium, they did the Orioles. Same thing in the playoffs.
Well, that a fan
and that affected a home run.
Oh my gosh, yes. But it also is that still falls under the heading of if the ball's coming my way, I can't help but want to reach for it. You can go to Bartman in Chicago, and there were plenty of other fans right there reaching for it. It's unavoidable. But it's when you grab a hold of a player and you're trying to pull the baseball out of his glove. It went just a little over the top. Anyway, who lit it up? We say thanks to American Electrical. They can light up your world. You can log on american-electrical.com. But it's now 3-1, and we'll see where it goes from here. Like we said, you're going back to the starting guys. We'll see ultimately the beginning of the rotation, how it goes. All right, I got a bold fact for you guys that I need to throw out right now to get us back to, well, we were talking about how important is it? How disgusting was it for you guys to see Jacksonville not have a first down until the second quarter? It was ridiculous, right?
Yeah, I had never seen that before.
Yeah, it's
a quarter
terrible.
and a half. It's terrible. Yes, 3 and outs.
And we've seen this team go through these dry spells, particularly in the early part of the game, probably more than most would like. So let's do a bold fact with that in mind.
Here's a bold fact brought to you by Bold City Brewery, Duval's first craft brewery. Online at boldcitybrewery.com.
All right, we love our friends at Bold City. They love the Jaguars. They love what they can offer craft-wise to anybody who is out there enjoying wonderful craft beer. Drop on by. Find them on Bay Street when you're heading to any game or concert or whatever it might be. Downtown, and then, of course, you can find them, their production house on Roselle Street over in Riverside. And you always have great specials like slider basket specials on Wednesday trivia and BOGO wine. Check it all out, boldcitybrewery.com. So we mentioned how slow they can be. Who's the only team in the National Football League that has not scored a single point in the first quarter?
Interesting.
Only team. And I'll just give you a little bit of flavor for this one.
I'm going to say the Titans.
7 games, and now the 8th game. Going into this weekend, they had not scored a point. You can go look at their box score this past week. They didn't score a point. The only team. You're saying the Titans?
Mm-hmm.
Who else?
Titans. That's a good guess. They're terrible. Jets.
All right, I'll give you a little history here. Last 20 years, only 3 teams have scored 0 first quarter points through week 7. The Jets in 21, they finished 4-13. The Lions in 2008, they went 0-16. How bad is that? The Cardinals in 2005, they went 5-11. So those were all teams that stunk it up, but neither one of you guys have got it right. Second guesses.
This is going to be an odd one then. This isn't going to be a bad team. It's going to be like an odd.
Well, you just didn't get it right the first go around. That's all I'm saying.
I'm going to say the Raiders.
Okay. Raiders, that's a good one. I will say the Chargers.
All right, both good because Chargers are struggling to score under Jimmy. Little Mr. Conservative there, running the ball. Justin Herbert doesn't have as many weapons. Raiders good one because Gardner got sat down, been battling. This team.
Giants?
This team scored 37 points on Sunday and did not score in the first quarter for the 7th week in the National Football League.
you going to tell me it's the Vikings? No, it's not the Vikings.
No.
37. I don't know. Who is it?
It's the Eagles. The team that Jacksonville will face Sunday afternoon. 7 games, had not scored a point in the first quarter, and then they went into Cincinnati unloaded for 37 points, but none of them in the first quarter. They scored 10, 14, and 13 in the next 3 quarters. Is that not crazy? So just because you can't score in the first doesn't mean you can't score at all. And so the Eagles.
So that means we got a chance.
Yeah. So if you look up after 15 minutes of ball Sunday afternoon, and you're like, well, dang, they kept the Eagles out or off the scoreboard, out of the end zone, you're probably feeling pretty good. Well, no, because they've been able to erupt for big points at big times. The Eagles are kind of a tough one to figure out, just to finish this thought, because Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni, we know that there's a little bit of an oil and water kind of atmosphere between those two guys. They don't necessarily vibe all the time, but they came out of their off week basically saying, you know what, Jalen Hurts said, I need to play better. I need to play cleaner. I need to be able to move this offense along. They get A.J. Brown back. He finds his way into the end zone. Saquon has gone off for some big gains, big yards. Are they turning the corner? Are they starting?
I don't know. Their last 2 games have been get-right games. They played the Giants and the Bengals. And I was looking at their the rushing. Saquon went off on the Giants. Absolutely went off. And he had over 100 yards against the Bengals. So they're going to run the ball at you. They're going to use that big, heavy offensive line, run the ball. They're going to do the RPOs. And Jaden's going to take his shots down the field. And defensively, they're playing a lot better defensively, especially up front.
I wonder what the narrative will be. Doug Peterson, Super Bowl winning coach, coming back to Philadelphia for this one.
No, they still love him there.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
Maybe the narrative is it's falling apart in Jacksonville just like it fell apart there as last year.
There definitely was a lot of mystery surrounding how he ultimately was relieved of his job and Howie Roseman wanted him, as the word goes, to let go of some of his coaches, and he didn't do it. He had just gone from Mike Groh to Press Taylor. And anyway, it did not work out in the end for them. But
he's beloved because I got Philly fans that told me that he could never pay for a meal there.
No, they love him. And Nick Foles, too, by the way, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Statue, both of those guys.
St. Nick, I called him.
Yeah, exactly. They loved him up there.
Yeah.
We will have Sal Palantonio on tomorrow with us to talk a little bit about it because he, of course, covered that team, and it covers Philadelphia and the NFL so well. And he wrote a book with Doug being one of the centerpieces of it. So we'll say hello to him coming up on Thursday show. We'll be on at noon tomorrow, noon to 2. The Frangies show up at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And then Jaguars programming will pick up at 4 o'clock, including the Doug Peterson show. But that was pretty interesting that they had not scored a point through the first 7 or now 8 weeks, but 7 games for them in the National Football League. It is XL Prime Time.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. Step into another football weekend with Pregame Friday.
You got to go up-tempo with urgency.
Absolutely. Get the news, notes, and inside stuff you need to get ready for game day. Brought to you by MyBookie and Dream Finders Homes on 1010XL.
Imagine driving a late model Corvette, BMW, Mercedes, Lexus, Honda, Chevy, Ford, and more, all at a fraction of the original sticker price. Visit Vaughn Motor Group's indoor showroom and browse a great selection of dream cars that are inspected with warranties. Before you make your next auto purchase, check out Vaughn Motor Group on San Jose Boulevard or at vaughnmotorgroup.com for a complete inventory listing. If you can dream it, you can drive it at Vaughn Motor Group.
Flo here from Progressive to tell you how you get more than great savings with us. You get customer service access through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
That's a lot of ways I can get in touch with you. I see what's going on here. You can't name favors, but I'm your #1 customer.
Actually, we offer all our customers these ways to contact us.
I'm sure you give just any customer your personal
company
contact info.
Well, you did call us more than any other customer this year. So in that sense, you are our #1 customer.
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What?
Huh? I'm so over this."
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Call State Farm agent Rami Elabu, 309-9077.
Jacksonville's building a fence along the goal line. This is the Superior Fence and Rail Defensive Player of the Game. Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
Darian Jones was solid over the weekend against the Packers. The young rookie tallied 1 tackle and had 1 pass defended, and added in an interception in what was a strong showing. Jones showed that when the lights are on, he'll most certainly perform. And he's your Superior Fence and Rail's defensive player of the game.
If you're tired of your fence looking like a bad hair day, well, it's time for a fence makeover with Superior Fence and Rail. They'll make your yard the talk of the town with a new fence installed by their expert team.
Your fence is fantastic. My fence is giving all of my neighbors some serious pick and envy. Thanks, Superior Fence and Rail.
So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail for your fence installation project today.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a gravy taster from Jacksonville, Florida, me, Dennis Mosley. Hi, Ken. Okay, Dennis. 100 plumbers surveyed, top answer on the board. What does it mean if someone says your home has hard water?
It's made of ice? Let's see, hard water. Oh, is it club soda mixed 4-to-1 with vodka?
Last chance, Dennis. What is hard water?
Oh, is it that lime scale stuff that makes my taps all crusty?
That's right, Dennis. And a water treatment system from Bueller Air and Plumbing will eliminate troublesome lime scale deposits that can ruin your expensive appliances and let your neighbors know for sure that you are cool.
I wonder if I can get me a gin and tonic faucet.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Hi, I'm Frank Frangie, and I've depended on South State for my banking needs as long as they've been serving Duval. Whether you're saving for retirement, purchasing a home, starting a business, your goals are their commitment. With forward-thinking, personalized banking solutions and best-in-class service, South State is ready to help you navigate your financial journey. Connect at southstatebank.com or drop by any of the 5 local South State offices. South State Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It's the blog players put their pads on for.
So we got to bring my thoughts and observations on our home team. That's what I share with you every week on my blog.
Roland Re Plumbing brings you Hayes Blog on 1010XL.com.
Looking for an affordable and fast oil change? Well, Big Chief Tire has you covered. Frank Frangie here. Right now, take $10 off your next oil change at any of their 5 convenient locations. Their skilled technicians will keep your car running smoothly so you can hit the road with confidence. Whether it's routine maintenance or a more extensive service, Big Chief Tire is here to help. Visit BigChiefService.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule your appointment and take advantage of this great deal. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL Green for Life.
Poker players, brace yourselves. The World Poker Tour storms into Best Bet Jacksonville October 31st to November 19th, and the forecast calls for massive prize pools. Event 1 has a cool $200,000 guarantee. Event 6, a downpour of $300,000. And the main event, a flood of a $1 million guarantee. WPT Championship satellites are already brewing. Don't get left high and dry. Head to bestbetjacks.com for details. That's bestbetjacks.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, this is one we were just talking about a little bit earlier, that 2 of the top 4 draft picks last year have been sat down at some point this season, including Anthony Richardson. Sat down yesterday by the Colts. Bryce Young sat down a few weeks ago when Andy Dalton came in. But now Dave Canales, Panthers head coach, has said that Bryce Young will start once again Andy Dalton should be the backup. And just a reminder, Dalton and his family was in a automobile accident, and everybody was okay, but still the jolt of that, and we don't really know how much of an injury might have played into it, but he was dressed, ready to go. He's just now the backup, so he wasn't hurt enough to knock him out this particular week. They just wanted to do it precautionary last week. But it's so funny. I shouldn't even really say so funny. You start looking at some of the guys that are out of practice. Jordan Love, out of practice today. Jair Alexander, out of practice today. Now, some of these on a Wednesday might be a little more precautionary more than anything else. But a couple of other ones, Lamar Jackson not practicing. You've got a few that you're not quite sure whether they're going to be maybe a game time decision once we get to Sunday's action. But there are plenty of guys that are right now, Tyreek Hill not seen at practice. Very curious about what's going on there.
I mean, here's what I want to say about the quarterbacks, the young quarterbacks that haven't been sit down there. Listen, there's no exemption clause in your contract. Just because you're the franchise quarterback, if you're not playing well, then you sit. I mean, everybody in every other position, whether it be wide receiver, running back, offensive line.
True.
Yeah, if your quarterback's not playing well, for the sake of the team, if you've got somebody behind them that can play a lot better, then you put them in.
You know how it goes. It is such a delicate flower, okay?
But toughen up. Hell.
And the minute you sit somebody like that down, there are
they get emotional.
Questions.
Yeah, they're very emotional creatures. Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're emotional creatures. They have to be massaged.
They got a lot on their plate, Leon.
Oh, please. Who does it?
Oh, that's beautiful. All right, now listen. It's time to get real. And what we like to do is create little 90-second reels with our state schools and Georgia, the teams that we follow the closest, Florida, FSU, Miami, and Georgia. We got 90 seconds to do it. We got to split up our time, give all of our college football fans a little something to think about. Let's start with Florida, and let's start the clock, RJ.
All right, Billy Napier. Billy Napier has won 3 out of 4 games. Florida is looking pretty good now. You put in DJ Lagway at quarterback. He's been solid. Defense been better. You've had a week to think about Georgia, who's owned you the last three weeks. I'm not saying Georgia's going to lose a game. I just want you to make it respectable, Billy. Lose refinedly, 31-21.
All right, last 3 games since the Florida players went to Billy's office and asked for change, okay, on defense. Gators given up a combined 56 points at UCF, Tennessee, and Kentucky, 23.6 a game, and an average of, you ready for this? 298 yards a game. That's down from 500 yards a game in the first 3 Power 4 games they played this year.
Basically.
And 34 points a game.
But I just want to end on this as far as Florida is concerned. As much good is out there stat-wise, number-wise, and so on and so forth. The teams they have beaten, Mississippi State, loser. UCF, losing record. Kentucky, losing record. You had a chance to beat the best of the bunch in Tennessee, and you did not get the job done. So that's still a team that's in the bottom half of the SEC, and they're talking about maybe saving his job. All right, let's move on.
Details, JoJo, details.
Yeah, the details. Let's move on. Let's get real with Florida State.
Ooh. At this particular point, the towels, they've waved the towel. I mean, kids start going to class, cops going to training table. I mean, they're making plans for their vacation, to be honest with you. And I don't feel sorry for them because they're my rivals, and when we stunk it up, they gave me the business, so I give it right back to them. Enjoy your wasteland, which is Florida State.
Yeah, I mean, Florida State's looking at a complete rebuild at the end of the season, and I mean not only on the roster, but I think the coaching staff as well. I mean, you can't. What's going on right now is not acceptable, especially if you're in a situation where you just came off a 19-game win streak. You just came off where you had reasserted yourself as a national presence. You can't have this type of season, and there will be a complete rebuild at the end of the season.
Well, I told you that they're restless on the reservation. There's no question about it. The contracts that the assistants got along with the head coach when Alabama came calling for Mike Norvell a season ago is actually up the ante price-wise of what they're looking at financially. They're now attached to the assistants, and maybe they will get rid of some of them. We will see. But can you imagine going from 13-0 to 1-7 the next season and trying to figure out where you are and how you're going to rally? And Mike Norvell says they're still going to figure out a way. They need to play better, but they're in trouble right now up in Tallahassee. All right, Let's go to the U.
All right. Well, University of Miami, listen, I heard the halftime speech of Cam Ward. He said, listen, we need to play with a lot more intensity on both sides of the ball. It's time for us to take back this bleeping state. I love that. That halftime speech rivaled the Ed Reed, or one Ed Reed when they played Florida State. So I love what we got in Cam Ward. I love what we got in Mario and the team, and go Canes.
You know what? Here's what I'm looking at. You got Duke this week. You got Georgia Tech after that. You got Wake Forest at home. You got Syracuse. If you can't get by those 4 games and be 12-0 when you head to the ACC championship game against more than likely a Clemson team that really hasn't beaten anyone this season, I almost want to say if the Canes aren't 13-0 at the end of championship week, there's a problem.
Oh, yeah. It'll be an utter disappointment. But the one thing that you have to credit Mario in doing is that the ACC, when he made a decision, when Mario Cristobal made a decision, said, I'm leaving Oregon, and I had just put together a couple of Pac-12 championship runs up there. I'm coming home because you know what? It's home of the empanadas and all those beautiful people that love him down there, but it's also home of the ACC.
Yes, it's the same decision Bobby Bowden made.
It's the most inviting schedule out there. And as long as you can beat your rival, which is FSU and Miami in this case, none of the other ones pose a big problem for too long. Sans Clemson. That's it. All right. Now,
is that not the same decision Bobby Bowden made with between the SEC and the ACC, right?
Very, very, very possible. Because right now they have the best predictive index, or however you want to call it, to make the playoffs. They have the easiest road left. All right, we have one team left with our 90 seconds. Let's get real with Georgia.
Well, I tell you what, after the Alabama loss and then the 10-point win against Mississippi State, I was concerned about Georgia. But Kirby Smart put that team together, and they played against Texas. For you, Florida, the boogeyman is back. They're back. So y'all can have all the time you need to get ready for them, but they coming. They come to Jacksonville. It's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, the dogs are turning up the wick. When they typically do it in the season, right around the cocktail party. Florida hasn't won this thing since 2020, since a funky COVID season. In the 3 games since then, Georgia's won the game by an average score of 40-15. Woof.
Yeah. 40-15. I'll end on the idea that the news came out that Georgia, Florida, the cocktail party as we know it and love it, it will be on the move for a minimum of 2 years, and we'll find out whether or not it's going to land in Tampa, land in Atlanta, and whether or not those 2 cities really start to get aggressive and maybe say, hey, we want to showcase this game, if not every year, every other year, and challenge Jacksonville for the right to host it. It's a little bit of a worry. We will find out what happens with that. But right now, Georgia doesn't mind coming to Jacksonville because they've been stacking up dubs left and right under Kirby Smart. There you go. Getting real with all of our state schools and Georgia, the 4 teams we follow the most. And we look forward to the cocktail party coming up on Saturday right here in beautiful Duval.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Prime Time on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers.
At Honda, we appreciate all the comparisons to other vehicles. And no matter how many times they compare their vehicles to a Honda, only a Honda is a Honda. Remember, value, quality, safety, there is no substitute. Visit your local Honda dealer now and experience the difference.
Joe C. for the Preferred Group, Preferred Builders, Preferred Roofing. And I tell you what, we're so thankful we came through what was Hurricane Milton, and for that matter, Helene ripping through a little bit earlier, but making sure that we came through basically unscathed. Now, there was some damage in some areas, and if you did have a roof leak, roof problems, whatever it might be, make sure you get with the folks that can fix it and fix it right. PreferredRoofingJacks.com. You can log on. Better Business Bureau. We're talking highly rated, and they have been in this community for a long, long time. Remember, Preferred Roofing, and don't forget remodels, additions, brand new homes. Check out PreferredBuildersJacks.com.
The Jaguars are facing off against the Minnesota Vikings Sunday, November 10th for the Jag Salute to Service game. See the Shell White alternative helmets in action for the first time and join us in honoring our military all game long. Kickoff is 1 p.m. Don't miss this matchup and lock in your tickets now by visiting jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you at the bank.
AC replacement? If your AC unit is ready to go kaput, then it's time to call Florida Home AC. With over $3,000 in tax credits waiting for you on select systems, take advantage of it. Call 777-4300. Get Florida Home AC to cool you off.
Hacker here, and guys, the countdown is over. I didn't just hit the 100-pound mark. I blew past it thanks to Awaken 180 weight loss. 107 pounds gone just like that. More weight than a quarter keg of beer. Speaking of beer, here's where it gets fun. We're throwing a big celebration at Mr. Chubby's Wings in Ponte Vedra Beach. Yeah, you heard that right. A weight loss party at Mr. Chubby's. The irony's juicier than their wings, but here's the thing. I can celebrate at Mr. Chubby's and still keep the pounds off. If you didn't know, yes, wings are still on the menu while losing weight with Awaken 180 weight loss. Join me in 1010XL on November 9th for the Florida and Texas game, and you could win a spot at my table. Food is included. There'll be ticket giveaways and more for the celebration. If I can shed a whole Mr. Chubby and still throw a party at one, what's holding you back? Call Awaken 180, 844-346-1800, or hit up awaken180weightloss.com, and let's get it done.
Hey, Icken here for Prize Picks. Download the app today and use code JAX, J-A-X, to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's promo code JAX to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, man. Run your game.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On October 30th, 2013, the Boston Red Sox beat the St. Louis Cardinals 6-1 in Game 6 of the World Series to win the title. Boston slugger David Ortiz was awarded MVP.
Rotator cuff injuries are common among athletes and those who have physically demanding careers. Don't let this injury keep you away from the sport you love. Dr. George Barry here, and the first thing you need to do with a serious shoulder injury is to diagnose where the damage is and how significant it is. Rotator cuff tears are either acute tears sustained during an injury or accident, or degenerative tears. If you're interested in learning more about rotator cuff repair and how our expert team of orthopedic surgeons can help you, call Barry Orthopedics today or visit barryorthopedics.com.
What if you could be debt-free by this January? Get rid of all that high-interest debt, pay off all your credit cards, consolidate everything into one lower payment. Hey, it's Prosper here, and if you're ready to stop stressing over bills, you need to call Loan Pronto right now. With rates at their lowest in 2 years, this is the perfect chance to use your home's equity and save big going into the new year. Loan Pronto's got rates with APRs in the low 5s, and they're getting homeowners hundreds of thousands out of their home's equity. Homeowners who do this save on average $850 a month. Loan Pronto offers a ton of options, including total refis, express equity lines of credit. So call now, get a rate quote in just minutes with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. Call today. You won't make a house payment till 2025. 904-999-1508. That's loanpronto.com or 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781 on approved credit, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Tailgate special alert. 3 pounds of marinated chicken, 2 pounds of marinated steak tips, 2 pounds of fresh ground beef, and 2 pounds of homemade sausage for only $80 to feed your crew.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Want to grow your hair back?
IHRS right here in Jacksonville is the only hair transplant clinic in the country that offers multi-unit hair grafting, FUE Neograft hair transplants, and the 45-minute effective PRP treatments.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
Thank you, IHRS.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Schedule a free evaluation and find out how to grow your hair back and keep the hair you have. Call 904-777-IHRS. Take the first step to restoring your hair today. Visit hairforme.com.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS has been restoring hair for men and women for over 30 years.
Call now for a free in-person or virtual evaluation. 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or visit hair4me.com.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
The Jaguars have opened up the 21-day practice window for running back Keelan Robinson. Robinson was drafted by Jacksonville in the 5th round of this year's draft out of Texas. Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson on what Robinson can bring to the team.
I mean, we'll see, right? We'll see. Excited to get him back out there because it's been, I think all the way back to rookie training camp way back in July. So it'll be good to get him back out there and with his teammates and really, just see kind of what he remembers, of the playbook and how he can help us, whether it's on offense or special teams.
Doug Peterson on Keelan Robinson. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 87.
I know this may sound laughable, but Hurricanes got a big game this weekend against Duke. And it's a big game because every game right now moving forward is a big game. Keep that 3 seed, right? Matt Hayes?
Yeah.
I get that 3 seed.
Allows you to get a first-round bye.
That's right. So this is a big game for Miami. I know it's an any-coast conference, but Miami's got to win this Saturday at noon to kick off.
I will say this. My takeaway is, if something funky happens in Miami Gardens this weekend, this guy to my right spoke it into existence with that pause. And it was more than a pregnant pause. That was a long pause. When I said, Duke, we heard nothing for like 3 seconds from you. Yeah. Until you said, all right, Duke worries me. You might have just spoken into existence, is all I'm saying.
The only reason why I said that, because 2 years ago, Duke beat us 45-21 in the Orange Bowl. Had over 200 yards rushing against us.
That was Elko.
And they caused, 8 turnovers in the game? It was crazy. It was a crazy game.
Yeah, that was Elko and Riley.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that was the Cracker Barrel coach getting that job done. This is now Manny. Now, if you think about it, though, who would like nothing more than to send the U into a downward spiral than the guy they fired to get Mario?
I had to go get Manny, man. I had to go find Manny.
If Manny takes down Mario, oh no!
I mean, Leon will be really upset. There's no doubt. I think JJ might lose his mind if that happens.
JJ's feeling good.
If Manny Diaz beats Mario,
we're not losing to Duke.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know that there'll be enough Tylenol in this city to take care of JJ.
All right. My takeaway is that we have had fun with our XLP to the CFP, looking at the top 12. And I keep mentioning Ole's, those outside looking in. And there are a number of good football teams with any of our list that are still on the outside looking in. And can they do it? Well, Bama still has everything in front of them. They potentially could play their way right back into this bad boy. It's 2 losses. LSU.
Maybe.
I'm just saying. It's just a lot of, I'm just saying it could happen. LSU, same thing. 2 losses. They still have a lot in front of them. Ole Miss, exact same thing when you start thinking about it. Those on the outside looking in may include Notre Dame, may include Pitt. Pitt's an undefeated team that's sitting out there going, what about us? SMU, 7-1. There's a lot of teams that still have good storylines trying to figure their way into the college football playoff. And guess what? We're entering November, which is great. That basically is what we wanted, and that's what we're getting. Beautiful thing.
Here's what I think is the issue that no one's really talking about right now, and we're going to get into it eventually because the first college football playoff poll is Tuesday.
Yeah.
So this will show us where things are headed. It's almost going to be impossible to have your first ever 12-team playoff with all the hype and hoopla surrounding it and not have your major television properties part of it. Think about this. If Penn State beats Ohio State this weekend, okay? Ohio State's schedule, they'll have 2 losses. They'll have lost both games of significance on their schedule. The rest of their schedule is terrible.
Yeah.
Okay?
Has been, will continue.
Right.
Yeah.
They could be 10-2, and it doesn't matter. Their biggest win will be over an Indiana team that's unbeaten right now, but has played no one.
Yeah, Indiana's an Ole to me right now.
So do you really think Ohio State at 10-2 is going to be left out of the playoff?
I would say no.
Zero chance that
My
happened.
immediate answer is no.
So here's the problem with Alabama. Alabama needs help because if it's a choice between Tennessee and Alabama, they both have 2 losses. Guess who's getting in?
The one that beat the other.
Yes.
Yeah, the one that beat the other. But let me just throw this out here just as another wild card. Don't look now. But Primetime is playing his way into the playoff conversation. You take a look at what Dion and Colorado have left. Texas Tech, Utah, Kansas, and Oklahoma State.
Well, they got to win the Big 12. They're not getting in.
That's what I'm saying.
Large, yeah.
Texas Tech, Utah, Kansas, and Oklahoma State. Is that not doable? You know what their record is when you take a look at the combined Big 12 record of those teams? In the Big 12, 5-15. They could run that table and get into that championship game.
They have. Yes, they could.
Yeah, it could
I'll
happen.
give you that. Yes, they could.
Yeah, but I'm saying we're entering November, and I don't think we were thinking that about Primetime that long ago. We really weren't.
Coach of the year? If they go 10-2.
If they go 10-2 and get the Big 12? Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah.
He's with as many players as he ran off and as many players as he invited in and as many hits that Shador, his son, had to absorb beginning of the year, and then they straightened that bad boy out. They have protected him better. It's a good story.
It's really also, if they win the Big 12, they get a bye.
Exactly. They are one of 4 at the top. And when you think of the teams that they have left, of course, they still got to win a championship game. But the teams they have left in front of them, a 5-15 record between Tech, Utah, Kansas, Oak State. Red Raiders got 3 of those wins. So, yeah, that is something else. Anyway, it's worth paying attention to. All right, let's finish on some Jag notes before we are done, before we welcome the Francis Show in. But right now, we need to chase it back to another season that is slipping away faster and faster.
Let's hit the high school football scene on XL Prime Time. Brought to you by Gatorade Water. All-day hydration for today's top athletes. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie.
We say thanks to Gatorade Water and Winn-Dixie, where you can find it. Don't forget, download that app. You will get additional savings when you are out shopping, particularly when you're shopping for some of those 6-packs or 18-packs of Gatorade. Let's get into it. Also, I9 Sports, thanks to them for bringing you our high school half hour. I'll give you details about I9 Sports and what they got cooking coming up here in just a second. But right now, when you take a look at what has happened, Week 10 just flew right past us this past Friday night. Reigns remaining unbeaten. They just roll Yulee, shutting them out. Impressive work there. They get Atlantic Coast next. They get to close out their regular season. How about a chance at repeating history? They can run the table, first undefeated season for Reigns since 1997 if they can do it. They're not the only team trying to run the table. There's a couple of other ones as well. A couple of games from Friday night. Fleming Island, Middleburg, close game to start. You got good play out of their quarterback, Sebastian Broughton, early touchdown for them. And the Golden Eagles run away with it 42-6. Eric Cipollette, give him a shout-out as that team wins out over the Broncos. Fletcher, still trying to make the postseason, playing First Coast. Seatric Faison's Beach Rats, they posted a shutout, 28-0, so they definitely still have a chance to play on. Mandarin and Oakleaf. Bryson Wright, I think that's a name you're going to hear a lot in recruiting real soon. Couple of scores from him. Mustangs take the district title. That's 3 straight for Mandarin, so shouting out the Mustangs there. District champs, Nice, they are streaking to a 7-0 mark. Beat Tokoi Creek easily, 44-15. Their quarterback, Nate Harry, with 5 touchdowns. That's pretty good. And they have Beachside up next. They're trying to go unbeaten and run the table. First time since 2006. If they can do it. Bartram goes for 2 in overtime against Buchholz. I love it. It's aggressive. It's a one-play chance, but the ball fell, did not complete it, and they go down. St. Augustine smoking Ridgeview 63-7. They get ready for Mandarin. That's going to be a big test defensively for Brian Braddock and company. And then I'll just end with Ed White over Riverside, which was a good one. Ed White wins the district 21-20. So the Commanders where they need to be. So our high school postseason is right around the corner. You're finishing up the regular season right now. By the way, Bradford beat Santa Fe 44-0. They're playoff bound. And so
they got upset, by the way, a couple weeks ago. They lost to Newberry.
Well, that's the only loss they've suffered. And so we'll get an idea of what these teams are looking like that are playoff bound once we get through next week. But we want to say definitely thanks to Gatorade Water. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. Don't forget, download the app. and I9 Sports, as they've got great things going on right now. Winter and spring registration going on, and brand new sports that they've got going at Nocatee and over at Duval Charter in Bay Meadows. So make sure you check out i9sports.com.
The XL Primetime High School Hit. Brought to you by I9 Sports. Log on to i9sports.com and get your kid in the game.
You can put 1010 in the promo code and get you a discount. All right, let's get back to the Jags and some of the storylines after the Cam Robinson departure. He leaves. He heads up to Minnesota. Now we know that Walker Little is going to have basically a half a season, sirs, to prove what he's worth. And I pretty much agree with you. If you play that position well, no matter how little you've played it, your contract comes up, you should cash.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a contract year for him. I mean, he has the size, he has the athleticism, he has a tendency to play a little high, but I mean, he's a prototype left tackle. He's got the body for it, the arm for it, the length for it. You know, he just got to be a lot more consistent with his play. That's all. And now he's going to be given the opportunity now, week in and week out. Not going to be no rotation, no experiments. Put him in guard now. He's going to be the left tackle. And if he shines, he's going to be in a situation where he can ask for elite money. Now, he may not get elite money, but he's going to be paid handsomely, especially if you're going to be protecting Trevor, you know, protecting the franchise quarterback.
I mean, if they're 6-2 right now, Cam doesn't get traded, right?
You wouldn't think so.
And Walker Little's in a situation where whatever contract he signs, be it with the Jags or someone else, it's going to be a contract worth, I don't know, $8 to $10 million a year, if that, right? He's just a backup guy is all he is. Now he's got 9 games to get in the neighborhood of, I don't know, $18 to $20 million a year.
Well, I just used Juwan Taylor as an example.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is his opportunity. I mean, this is some get back for Walker Little, to be quite honest with you, when you think about it.
Yeah.
Because Cam's suspension is the reason why Anton Harrison
was drafted.
Because if he wasn't suspended, it would have been a situation where Cam, Walker Little would have been get tackles. But because it's the uncertainty of Cam. So
how many games he was going to miss?
So Walker Little now is like, you know, good riddance, because you cost me bread. Now now it's my turn to make this bread back. So, you know, he's got the opportunity, and hopefully he'll shine, because it's going to be a situation. If he plays well down the stretch, he's going to get a new deal, and you'll have your young bookend tackles moving forward.
And when you look at the offense, and we started our show off talking about what Trent hasn't done in the draft and what Trent tried to do in free agency. He brought in a bunch of guys that were going to come in and, quote, bring that playoff experience, up the level of competition, bigger, faster, stronger, you know, that whole thing. And they were going to come in. Well, think about it. 3/5 of this offensive line came through the free agent ranks. 3/5.
Yeah.
Because you have Ezra, who got a contract last year, Mitch Morse, who got a contract last year, Brandon Sheriff, who's been making money off of his contract here for a while. And then even though you just dispatched Cam, you move Walker Little in, which was another second-round pick. 3/5 free agents. You take a look at what was starting wide receiving core. You go in 3 wide, Kirk, Gabe Davis, Brian Thomas. 2/3 free agents. Then you go draft pick. Obviously, he has stepped up and proven himself. Then you go to the tight end. Free agent, Evan Ingram, Luke Farrell, draft pick, blocker, playmaker. Okay? Then you look at the running back.
Oh, blocker's starting to play a little more. He's starting to play better.
Yeah. Brenton Strange is definitely been asked to do more things, which is nice to see both him and Ingram, particularly on that one drive. Both of those guys made picks or made big catches. And so those are a couple of draft picks. To the other side of the ball, you got your bookend rush-ins. Both of those guys, top 10 selections. Then you go to the inside. Devon Hamilton, a contract guy. He was able to get a second contract out of this team, excuse me, but hasn't necessarily played up to the level that you'd like to see him play at.
Right.
Eric Armstead, free agent. We can go to the secondary, same thing. Darby, Savage, free agents. I don't know exactly where this team expected to be versus where they are right now. They expected to be a hell of a lot further along than where they are right now with all the decisions that they made with free agents.
I mean, you just naming the free agents at the certain position that you can equate that to miss. Miss. So, I mean, because if you draft well, you don't have to go get those guys.
It's the truth.
You know, so all those free agents that you just named, you can equate that to bulky miss.
Yeah. And it really is, and it has to. I know it drives Jaguar fans crazy because they definitely remind us of their allegiance to the team and lack of support for Bulky. There aren't too many Bulky backers out there right now. I didn't mind giving him credit when things were going well. Heck, I even put it out on X that he was pretty happy when he saw a couple of big games out of Tank or Brenton or whoever. Well, it still doesn't make up for all the other misses and losses that he has had or that he has brought to this football team. That's the part that this team knows they're sorely missing. That's for
Plus,
sure.
it's a financial thing. If you miss on draft picks, then you have to spend money.
Oh, yeah.
So then your cap is impacted by that. It's not just there's so many different things when you miss in the draft.
Yeah. Historically, two teams that hardly ever went out and spent in free agency because they were so good in the draft, Pittsburgh and New England. And Pittsburgh still really doesn't go out. New England did because they lost Tommy and they were desperate, and then it backfired on them. They spent more money in free agency 1 year than the previous 3 years combined. That's how bad it was. They were just trying to get over after Tommy won that championship down in Tampa Bay.
Now, the 2-minute drill brought to you by Injury Care Centers. Discover BioTarget Regenerative Therapy, a safer drug-free solution for lasting pain relief. Visit GoBioTarget.com.
The Embedded and Shredded joins us now. Still got to drive Belly a little crazy, like when he sits there and has a conversation over a nice piece of salmon with his 21-year-old girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He sits there and he says, "You just could have been better after Tommy left."
He definitely has I think a vengeance side to him.
Yeah.
And it will be interesting to see if he is able to get back in the league next year as a head coach.
Here.
Because because he's been.
Please.
I've enjoyed his media presence this season because he hasn't held back on anything.
No, and it's a different layer of him.
If he even thinks you've wronged him, I mean, he is taking such joy in like the Jets' misery and things like it. I mean, it's been a lot of fun to watch. So I'm sure it still burns him up how it ended in New England, is evidenced by his comments going against Mayo.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so answer this question before you set us up as far as what you guys are doing. But Matt and Leon, we were just kind of asking ourselves this question: how close is Shad to Belichick, and would he be a confidant or someone that he might lean on to make that next move?
It's going to be hard to lean on him because Bill's going to want the job.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
It'd be the equivalent of George W. Bush asking Dick Cheney to be in charge of picking his Veep, and then Dick says, "You know what? I picked myself." Which brilliant strategy. Worked out well for him. So I don't think it would be as a consultant, because Belichick so wants back in. He wants to break Shula's record. Yeah. Would he like to be choosy in which job he takes? Yes. But I think he will take the first job that he is offered. So I don't think it'll be as a consultant. Is he close with Shad? I don't think they're close.
Right.
I think there's a mutual respect, or I say mutual. The Khans respect Belichick. I have no idea if Belichick respects the Khans.
True.
But but I think in looking at it, I think absolutely Shad would think very thoroughly about turning the program over to Belichick, if in fact that's where this ends up leading to, which it certainly seems like it's going to.
All right, what's coming?
We're going to have a ton of stuff coming up on the Frangie Show. We'll have Sports and Courts with Brett Hastings, and we'll do our State Farm college football report, talking Gators, Knowles, and Canes. So lots of fun stuff coming up on the Frangie Show, and lots of Jaguars as well.
Sounds good, my
Thank
brother.
you guys.
Hayes, Franz, JJ, they're coming up. It is funny because the word was that he didn't get that Atlanta job, or that was the one he was the closest to, because he wanted too much power. I could just give him all the power here. There's nobody really fighting to. No.
I mean, at this point, what does it hurt?
Right. If Balky stayed in the building, he would not want to surrender that power.
There's no way those two are coexisting. That ain't happening.
All right, noon tomorrow, fellas. We will be back ready to rock and roll then. Thanks to the Golf Club of Southampton. New membership opportunities. Great play. You can go out there. They really worked hard to make sure they got their greens back to where you would expect them and like them to be after the drought and all the stuff they went through. They definitely have that going on. So you can enjoy a great golf experience, Thursday night trivia, music Friday nights, plenty more. Just log on and check them out or see them on Facebook. We're done. Joe C., Matty Hayes, Big Searcy, and RJ.
You lollygag the ball around the infield.